Welcome to the Costa Ruana archipelago. Become a tribal chief and send your natives to the islands to get your hands on more pirate treasures than your rivals. Show them your primal wits. According to the number of players, place the necessary number of islands in the middle of the table. Place condition cards next to them. Place 4 treasures on any 2 islands and 5 treasures on each of remaining islands. For the game, keep only the cards on which the number of white side notches is less than or equal to the number of players. Shuffle these cards, form the draw pile and deal 5 cards to each player. Each player takes a hut and all natives of the same color, placing them in their supply. Choose the first player randomly and give him the shaman figurine. Now, starting with him and proceeding clockwise, players place natives on the islands, one at a time, until each player has placed 3 natives. But remember, there can never be more than 7 natives in total on the same island. Starting with the shaman and proceeding clockwise, each player in turn places 1 card face up, in front of himself or in front of another player. Then, the same way, each player in turn places 1 card face down. And finally, each player in turn may optionally place one of their natives on any card played on the table. It will copy the effect of the card for the native's owner. The shaman turns over one of the condition cards on the table, thus determining which cards will be activated during the current round. Now turn over all the cards currently face down on the table, so that they are face up, and discard all cards which background color does not match the backgrounds shown on the condition cards. Now, one by one, players resolve all cards in front of them. In case a player has several cards in front of him, there's a certain order of resolving them. With Move a Treasure cards, you move 1 treasure from one island to another. With Return 1, 2 or 3 natives cards, you take back from the islands the number of your natives shown on the card. With Place 1, 2 or 3 natives cards, you take the number of natives indicated on the card from your supply and place them on the islands. And finally, with Move a Native cards, you move any one native of your choice from one island to another. Native placed on the cards will copy the effect of the card for the native's owner. As soon as the active cards are resolved and discarded, players start to divide treasures. If one player has more natives on the island than all the other players, he takes 1 treasure and returns one of his natives from this island to his supply. If several players are tied on the island, none of them receives any treasure from the island. If on this particular island there is also a native belonging to another player, he collects the treasure and returns his native from the island to his supply. The player who collected the fewest treasures during the current round becomes a new shaman. Each player puts his treasure in his hut and draws 2 cards from the draw pile, except in the last round, when players draw only 1 card each. After looking at the cards in his hand, the new shaman may, if he wish, resign and choose any other player to be the shaman for the coming round. The game resumes. At the end of the 5th round, there is a final scoring. Each player receives 2 respect points for each treasure collected during the game, plus 1 respect point for each native in his supply. The player with the most respect points wins the game. Costa Ruana is a dynamic game with a lot of players' interaction. It has several original mechanics, which allow not only for rational planning, but also for a lot of bluffing and double guessing. Bright artwork and nice pieces, this game asks to be played.